Hey, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
Welcome in to another edition of Sports Junkies. I'm Steve Sparky, Fifer, Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. If only you knew what was going on here.
Well, was that an onside kick instead of kicking it deep into the end zone?
Just pausing. He is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. And my guy, Coach Pancotti from Case is in the house.
Yeah, I thought for sure you were going to bring in like a Case T-shirt, a Case hat.
Hook him up.
I'd wear it.
You got this one.
I'm in it. I'll wear it.
Man, you just alienated everybody in the car. Like, none of these guys are going to watch the show again.
Hey, too damn bad. That's how this goes.
Yep. Dennis and Brian, your turn will come.
All right, so
Good guys.
Let's start with this. Year one, and you come from California last year to Racine. I would imagine before we even get to the school aspect of things, how are you enjoying just being in the city of Racine here now for a while?
I love it. It's my wife is here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. She has a job and she's a nurse now up there in Menominee Falls. Milwaukee's 20 minutes away.
Yep.
We have Chicago. Being in this kind of area, it's all new. The weather's beautiful, especially today. But I like everything about Racine, and it's chill town, and I get to coach football.
Now, if you can only get rid of the riffraff like Sparky and
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, everything.
But every town has that.
Every town has that.
Outside of that, life is good.
Yeah, fair enough. The football program. You get there last year to take over the football program. I've never been to California to see what football is like out in California versus what it is here in Division I. What's the biggest difference from what you saw in the Southeastern Conference last year in year one versus maybe what you were coaching out in California?
Really, the biggest difference for me was just the time commitment for the kids. Because you only do 5 days of contact here.
Right.
And it's really tough.
What is it in California?
It's all out. You don't. There is no 5 days. It's you have 2 weeks of spring ball.
Okay.
And then every day in the summer you can practice football, do anything you want.
You can in the off season.
Look at Gery. See, Gery?
Wow.
Thank you.
Good thing you came to Wisconsin.
Yeah, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because what you have this group of men that want to teach young men football and the life that comes with football.
Sure.
And so you have these guys that are there all summer. Now, we could still do weight training and speed and agility, and we do these 7-on-7 things, which is good stuff too, but we don't get to actually get in and get coaching and do that stuff, and it's not mandatory and stuff like that. So it hurts us a little bit. That's the big difference. But really, I mean, the competition is similar.
But what about, because I'm going to bring this up to you, because he and I always argue about how much is too much for high school athletes as far as too many high school basketball games. Right.
Yeah.
So he and I always go back and forth. And my argument always is, if you're talking about something year-round, because in Texas I believe it's year-round, California, now you're telling me it's pretty much year-round too. So does that put then the athletes that you have at Case, who are looking to get a D1 ride or whatever, behind a little bit from a developmental standpoint when you don't get as much coaching?
Of course, 100%. 100%. Those kids out there, they train football, they practice football, but doesn't mean they don't do wrestling and track and field.
Sure.
That's what I did.
Right.
I did 3 sports. I actually got my scholarship, a Division I scholarship in track and field.
Really?
But it prepared me in football, and wrestling. And I did football all summer, and I even did track all summer too. So you could balance it. But the thing is, the truth of the matter is, these scholarships aren't easy to get.
No, they're not.
There's no scholarships. And you got kids in other states, and Illinois right next to us gets to do 25 days of contact.
And you're at 5.
And we're at 5.
Is that right?
So they do 25, we're at 5. You don't think those kids have an advantage?
Absolutely.
You don't think that they're getting better over the summer?
But at the same time, if you go, I know it's 2 different aspects of football, but if you go to the pro level, they're getting away from the contact stuff, and they're doing more fundamental drills and saying, hey, we don't want these kids beat up. Physically.
And the NFL, the thing is they know the game. They know the IQ is off the charts in football.
Sure.
They don't need to have the reps in practice. They don't need it. They just need to stay in shape, and they can be able to put. What they need is the timing and chemistry.
Right.
The thing I'm seeing here is that these kids don't know football, and they don't know how to do the basic. When I get them as a freshman, especially here in Racine, there is no feeder program, and
Which
that's
has gotta be a killer.
well, and that's one of the things we're doing is I've built the feeder program.
Because everybody's playing RWS football, though. Most
No, I'm
people.
not doing RIS. I'm doing Racine County Prep, and that's through the old timers.
Yeah,
And
but I
got
mean,
a
there
fifth,
is
sixth,
a Racine Youth Sports
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
For
No,
grade school.
Right, but,
So
but think about it, I don't want to interrupt. But if you go to these one school towns like Mugwanago,
Right.
they've got in Franklin,
And Oak
you've
Creek.
got these
Yeah,
guys
one
that
program.
have their one program.
Absolutely.
So you
Sure.
have coaches
Yep.
running the program here, the
Yep,
same
yep.
offense, same defense.
Yep.
So when they get there, they know what they're doing. But
Yeah,
when
of
you
course.
talk about this, or Kenosha to a certain degree, or like Marquette, where they're coming from all over the place, you got to pretty much start from scratch and coach them up.
From freshmen, yes.
Right.
So this year, what we did with Racine County Prep football is we went 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade football. I actually have 2 7th grade football teams in this league, and we're gonna play Oak Creek. They have like 30 teams in that same.
30?
Yeah, Oak Creek. You got Waterford, Burlington, and I think there's one more Milwaukee district that's going to play in this league.
Okay.
Where we're playing 5th grade football, 6th grade football, 7th grade football, 8th grade football, and where I just had a meeting last night with my youth coaches. I'm giving each one of them the offensive playbook, the defensive playbook, and so
awesome.
they know what's going on. They're going to come to our games. They're wearing Eagle Prep jerseys.
Nice. Look
And
at
so-
you.
I thought there was a recruiting at the high school.
Here
There's
we
no,
go.
there's no recruiting. It's really
It's informational.
It's,
That's all this is.
it's showing these young kids. You know, and my thing is one team, one family, one direction.
Sure.
Right? Showing these kids love, having them buy into something that's positive. Right? Football's positive. Having them buy into that, teaching the grades and the academic stuff like that, and teaching them from 5th grade football and life all the way up to 9th grade. So now when we get them as 9th graders, you know, they know what's going on.
Yeah, now are there,
And that's how you build a program.
Now is Park and Horlick doing the same thing? Do they have like these kind of programs?
Now
or not?
we try to do ideally it's supposed to be Eagle Prep, Rebel Prep, Panther Prep.
Okay.
It's supposed to be that.
Sure.
That's the ideal situation.
Gotcha.
Right. And then they also have St. Cat's and I think Lutheran. They're also in this league too.
Okay.
And they already have their prep teams already lined up.
So these kids pick where they want to play then?
No. And that's another thing too. This year it's a little bit different because we're just kind of flipping the old timer teams into certain
okay.
teams. But the way it works and the way I want it to work, I don't want to be with a bunch of Horlick kids that are going to go to Horlick.
Right.
Because now I'm investing time, I'm investing resources,
Guys that
and I'm
aren't
teaching
yours.
them that are going to go over there. Now, of course, we want to coach every kid, and if they're on this team, I'm not going to say you can't play and type of thing. We're gonna play and coach them. But I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm investing time in him, and I'm not getting a return because he's not coming to my school.
So how do you separate it?
By the guidelines
By the
of
districts.
the district guidelines. So where do you live?
Perfect.
Where do you live?
Yeah,
I
that
live in
makes
Racine. I live in Racine County or Case football.
Sure.
I play for the Eagle Prep team.
That makes sense.
That's
Sure.
the way you do it. It's the way you do it.
Yeah.
It's the way it's the only way you could build a program is by having a feeder program move through the levels.
Well,
and that's
Okay, let's talk about his high school.
No,
team.
hold on.
Yeah,
No.
he likes this stuff.
I love this stuff because it talks about building a tradition and building a
Yes.
program from the ground up. And
Yep.
anytime you talk about coming into a program that has struggled over the course of time, in case it's kind of struggled over the
Yeah.
course of time, and you're trying to build it into that powerhouse team,
Yep.
an Arrowhead or whatever you want to call it, this is how it has to be done. But how important then is the booster program that you do at Case to making sure that these youth programs are able to get everything that they need?
It's very important. But the booster program at Case is separated from the youth program.
Okay.
We help and they could give them shirts, stuff like that, but it's not like unified.
They're not together.
Yeah. We're actually
You
going through
couldn't
this.
do that under
Racine
WIA rules, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we're actually going through the Racine County Prep where those kids actually pay a fee to play.
Okay.
So unlike in high school where you pay a fee but it doesn't go to the football programs, it goes, at the district, I guess. We have to buy the stuff for the kids and they don't pay to play at a public school, or the money doesn't go to us.
Right.
But there, those kids pay, and I think the fee's $180, $200, whatever it is. So they pay to play, so then they have the money to buy the equipment and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different. But like you said, the only way you could turn around a losing program is by building a feeder program. Now,
I agree.
Now, you had asked about Horlick and Park. Fletcher is a great. It does a great job. He has a
Brian
lot
Fletcher
of
is the coach at
I'm sorry.
Horlick.
Yeah,
So,
Brian,
yeah.
at Horlick, and he has his feeder program through RIS. Now he has like 10 teams aligned in there.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, he really has, and then he's been having that, and that's good. And he has a good little pool there,
sure.
And he has good help and support there. And they already got the jerseys and the helmets and everything out there through RAS. Park doesn't have one yet, or I don't know when they're going to get one. But our case, the reason why I went with the Racine County Prep football is one, we're playing good teams: Burlington, Waterford, Oak Creek,
Right.
and they're doing the same thing. 2 is that they have the fifth graders playing fifth graders. A lot of times you try to get into this 12 and 13-year-olds and then the weight class. And
Right.
this is what we got. This is what we got to do. Yeah. We got to build the fifth grade team as a team.
Sure.
Yeah, there's going to be small kids down there. There's going to be big kids. But you're all fifth graders. You guys play together. It's like when you're freshmen, you play as freshmen.
Build the chemistry and you come up together.
And that's the thing. We got to build team. Because it's teams that win championships, not
individuals,
athletes.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. He is Coach Pancotti, head coach over at Racine Case, and yes, I'm wearing this hat, and no, I'm not taking it off.
He might have that on every show, and
Hey, I'm broadcasting from State Fair today. I'm wearing it at State Fair.
There you go.
This is something else.
It's almost like an Oregon Duck. All you have to do is
It
paint it in. You got the Oregon green,
That's it. All I did was take it an eraser, right there, and then there it is.
Good
right?
point. Good
Good to
point.
go. What about your football team that you have coming back this year versus last year?
Last year we lost a lot of seniors, some good seniors, about 13, 14. Last year, I came in and I was trying to get, I guess what you could say, cheap wins.
Okay.
Right? I came in late March, May, and would just say, there's not much time we have. Let's just kind of go with what we've kind of been doing, but let's do it even better than we've done before.
You were the most frustrating team out there.
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah.
You were so close to huge wins. And I come in there and go, geez, they held them and they were right there. What happened? It was killing me.
And we bring that up almost every day this year because we lost 3 games in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And we Indian Trail, or we start with Tremper. We fumbled the ball on the 3-yard line. We had stopped them, 4th down. There's a minute and 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
We got the ball. We fumbled it on the 3-yard line. They take it over and they score the winning touchdown.
Yep. I'm a Tremper guy and I was heartbroken.
Yeah. And so there's one. So we lost that in the fourth quarter. We lost the one in Kenosha Bradford, right over here in overtime.
Can't stand that.
They went 3rd round in the playoffs.
Sure. You're right there.
And we were right there. Mm-hmm. And our boys played great. And we lost it in overtime. And then we lost to Indian Trails. We had the ball actually on the 20 going in for the winning touchdown. Ball gets tipped, intercepted.
Yeah.
We lose that one. So we talk about we've lost 3 games last year, crucial games. Right?
You win those 3 games. How different is it?
Oh my God, it's flipped. Well, and it's those 3 games, and it's injuries. We went through injury plague, and the thing with Case right now is my numbers are so low. Up there on varsity, it's not. It's one guy goes down, and it's a domino effect.
Right.
Now you're moving these guys, Absolutely. And so luckily, what we got this year is we had our incoming freshmen. We got about 45 guys incoming freshmen, which is just great. I'm so excited for my freshman team. I'm so pumped up for them. Wow. They're going to do a great job.
Now, obviously, Case has had some outstanding basketball teams in recent years.
Uh-huh.
Have any of those kids, they're good athletes, and I know there's pressure on to keep these kids in basketball. Any of those kids decide to come out for football?
You know what? Actually, no.
Yeah,
and this is what I'm going to lose fans here. What kills?
Well, at least you're telling them.
Yeah, I'm going to tell them too. Right?
Yeah.
Where we lose kids and those basketball kids is because we lose in the AAU.
There you go.
Okay? AAU is the killer to a lot of the high school sports. They don't do track and field. They don't do baseball. They don't do football because they just got down to AAU season.
I totally agree
the
with
AAU coaches tell them not to do this, not to do that. And quite frankly, some of those kids are just afraid of contact. That's why they play basketball. Right? So, which is okay. But AAU, then the basketball, and Racine. This isn't a California thing. This isn't a national thing. Right. And Racine, AAU kills football because they take these kids all summer and they just.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm sure Dennis Thompson at Park and Brian Fletcher at Norlake would totally agree with you. And that's been my pet peeve. I know kids want to focus on one sport. They're probably told in 7th and 8th grade, if you want to get to college, you stay in basketball, football, whatever. Let them experience the whole gamut of sports.
I just talked to a kid. We have a program at Pace. It's called Pace, where it's like we introduce the school, some of the teachers. They do games, leadership building type of thing. Had a kid come, good-looking guy. He's a incoming freshman. I only play basketball.
Yeah, there you go.
And I just went, really? You only play basketball? Like you could do football, or you could do this? And I said the hardest scholarship to get in the nation is a basketball scholarship.
Yep.
Period.
It is. They got Duke has 3 scholarships to offer, and every year
You got 5 spots, basically.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I can only sell you. And I told the kid, "Can you play center?" No, you can't. Because guess what? You're 5'6", and you weigh 120 pounds. Well, you can't play center. You can't play this. You can't play that. The only thing you can play is guard, and that's all I can sell you as. But if you came out for football, I could sell you as wide receiver, running back, defensive back, athlete, quarterback, free safety, outside backer,
all over.
punt returners, punt specialist. You know, I could sell you at so many positions. And Wisconsin Badgers, how many scholarships do they have this year? 22, 24, 25.
Well, you know, the other thing too, people totally forget about is some of the best NBA players ever played football. Yeah, I'll give you a classic example. Allen Iverson. You see the small guy, 6 foot, pretty scrawny. He was the quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks. He flat out says that football made him a tougher person, a more competitive person.
Of course.
You know, so I mean, these people that think like, hey, you should only play one sport.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
No, it is. You should enjoy your high school career. You should want to represent your high school in every way you can, whether it's in leadership, student leadership, student government, right? Football, basketball, track, wrestling, whatever it is. You should want to go out there and represent your high school, so you take pride. And our best athletes are playing all our sports.
So tell us a little bit about your team. What do you like coming back? I mean, what do you see in this team?
We got good. We actually we have really good senior leaders. We have Dayon Ferris, who's our middle linebacker. He's coming back. He's getting looks from Wisconsin, the Badgers.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's actually power clean 300 pounds.
Wow.
And we got on the Facebook case
so
of high
like
football.
4 Sparkies.
Don't laugh, decent. They had a camera. You're not funny.
He's about 75 pounds, but
So we got good Larry Harleston. We got Max Polda, Isaiah Tressel, Ryan Teller. We got these guys that are coming and coming together and taking leadership. One of the big things to talk about is leadership.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. And this happened last week on our tour days. We were running our sprints at the end, and it was Max Polda who said, "Let's do another one."
There you go.
Right, let's do one more. And that's huge here in Kicks, that we talk about passion and wanting to be there and wanting to get better. And it's not a punishment that we're running sprints, but we're doing this so we could win in the fourth quarter. Right. Like we lost 3 games last year in the fourth quarter, right?
There you go.
So we could be in shape. And so it's awesome to see seniors step up and say, let's do one more. Because I've had coaches that one have been there for the last 5 years and one has been there for the last 15 years. And I looked and you know what? I stopped everybody. I said, take a knee. I looked at those 2 coaches. I said, I just need to know, and you tell me the truth. When have you ever heard a senior leader say that, let's do one more after a 3-hour practice, after running sprints, and let's do one more because we want to win those close games? When have you ever?
He didn't want to go home or what?
You know what they said? They looked at me both and they went, we've never heard that here at Case.
Wow.
And so changing that mentality and changing that whole thing of this is what we're going to do, this is what we are, we're going to out-hustle, outrun teams and stuff like that, and the leadership is stepping up. It's awesome. I love it. And you know I love it.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, man. I talked to Coach Pancotti last year. I talked to Coach Pancotti before this year. You can just talk to him and you get energized and you want to play. You just do, and you could see the smile. You could tell he's into it, and because I remember when his wife first moved here, he couldn't wait for his wife to get here from California. Yeah. And then when she moved here, it was kind of like, okay, now we're all set. Yeah. Now let's go. Yep. Because I mean, she obviously is the backbone for you. I'm sure. Of course. No matter win or loss or whatever else, she's got it. She's there for it.
My high school sweetheart. Yep. You know, I met her when I was a freshman, and she was a sophomore. Ever since then, man.
Older women.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it was kind of funny too. I'm a freshman, so I played on a JV team. And we were pretty good, but all her friends were wearing the varsity jerseys, right? Because they were dating the older boys, right? Sure. And so she was always getting made fun of. Oh, you're dating a freshman, right? She would show up to the games in a JV jersey, right? And they all had varsity jerseys. But hey,
she must have liked you.
She loved
put up with that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. How could you not like me, right?
Exactly. There you go.
He is Coach Pancotti from Racine Case. You'll be hearing a lot about Racine Case in the upcoming years for sure. Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times, Sparky, Fifer from Sports Radio 1250. We'll see you next time on Sports Junkies.